Hey guys, welcome to I guess I don't even know what to call this.
I guess
it's
you
not
just
really
call it the last episode.
It's not really an episode. It's probably like none of us wanted to make this. I just want to come out and say that. It's
to those people who already are saying, well, if you didn't want to make it, why did you? Well, this is it's going to be extremely complicated. It's going to be a confusing ride, but this has to be done, and this has to be said. This is extremely important in many ways. But basically, if you guys couldn't tell by the title, it's probably going to be like the last episode or something, but the podcast is over. I know that's probably disappointing for a good amount of people. Some people don't care, but I mean, the podcast is over, and for a very interesting reason, but it has to do with our good what everybody knows as good friend Zaptai, or Ed as some people know him. And well, God, I don't know how to go into this.
Yeah, we're laughing because we're nervous.
I know.
I mean, this is like the hardest thing we'll ever make, honestly. We're never going to make a video on our channels exposing anyone that's going to be tougher than this, because we know this guy and he's close to us, and it's like...
And I have a very strong, disapproval of people who bring personal situations into light, into public. I hate that, which is a giant testament to,
fucked.
By the way,
so...
if any of you don't know Mr. I'm Alex from YouTube, he is here, and the reasoning is because we wanted to get 3 of Zaptai's best friends in this podcast. And the past 4 months, 5 months even, Alex has been talking to Ed every single day, constantly every single day.
Pretty much. I mean, I know more about Ed than anybody will ever know. And obviously, you're just going to have to take my word for everything I say. There's loads of people involved in this situation and crossed over, but I will vouch for it, and I'm sure others will too. I've been sat in calls with Ed, especially for the last 2 months solid, every single day, anywhere between 2, 3, 4 hours to 12. We have been what I would call the best friends. You've probably seen the interactions on Twitter. Ed's got one of my fucking shirts. I saw him as I see him as a best friend. I would love to see him as a best friend, but what has gone down recently is...
at a point in time, I'm pretty sure all of us has seen him as a best friend.
And it's funny because I feel like Alex, out of the 3 of us, is closer to Ed than any of us.
Honestly, it's really true. But,
by a long shot.
Before we continue, people are probably thinking he's dead or something.
Things,
so I might as well say it because of the fact that obviously I was told. So, I mean, Ed, over the last few months, has been going through, well, really for the last year, a lot of fucking shit. A lot of issues, and, I was there for him. It's one of the reasons why I became best friends, because I knew about stuff that was going on in his life when he didn't know that I knew, and I hinted at it, and that's how we became good friends. I wanted to help him, and it's kind of sad, but I feel like this is one of the best ways to help him in a really fucking weird way, because this is awful to do. But Ed told me about 4 or 5 days ago now that he was a diagnosed sociopath. That's what Ed told me. Now, obviously, if you don't know what a sociopath is, the basics are he just can't feel human emotion. Now, obviously, this wouldn't be an issue if he hadn't have done a lot of things that... Well, a lot of us kept really fucking quiet because he's our friend and we wanted to protect him and we wanted to help him. We wanted to sort a lot of stuff out. But due to the fact that he could be super dangerous and he has done things in the past which are unforgivable, really. They're bad. And as a best friend, I want you guys to know, this really fucking hurts for all of us to do this.
And, we're not making this so people would, get pissed off at him. We're not making this so people will... attack him or anything like that. That's never that is not what this is about.
In all honesty, I wouldn't even have really told anybody if it wasn't for the fact that friends of mine had managed to guess off of situations that we had managed to keep quiet that there was clearly something really wrong, and I was approached, and after the information I realized that it's dangerous to keep it hidden.
And also, like, we've given him plenty of chances to talk to us.
Yeah.
We've given him so many chances. Like, okay, he, like me and Jimmy, like his quote unquote, I would say business partners at this point, has not said a goddamn word to us. Like, hasn't even said a word. And he knows we know. Like, and Alex,
I told Aaron and Jimmy pretty much straight away, because I realized that this happening would end Hot Wet Sleep. We wouldn't even be addressing it if this podcast didn't exist.
No.
Yeah, he's been super distant, and through
like,
all outlets, text, Twitter, everywhere. He's been, but at the same time, he would avoid us, but then speak with other people. I'm guessing because he saw them as more valuable.
Yeah, and we'll get into like specific situations, I'm sure, later, because there's a lot. But yeah, I just want to let everyone know that, like, it's not like we found out today and we're like, fuck this guy. You know,
it's a lot. It's been literally 4 days. It's been 4 whole days, and now, I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot of time, but I haven't gone to college. I haven't been sleeping.
Yeah, we've been mulling this over forever. We've been talking about this.
We have. It used to be me and Eddie sat in the calls for 12 hours, but now it's just us lot and a few other people who you know, and we've all been kind of mulling it over. And the thing is, we've been doing it in the best possible way for him. That's what we want, because it's really it's a bad situation, not just for him, because he's a sociopath. He didn't choose to be this, but he still has done things. If he hadn't have done anything, it wouldn't be as big as a problem.
And that's the point, is like, he might be a sociopath, he might not be able to feel empathy, he might not be able to, like, care, but he knows what's right and wrong. And he's done a lot of wrongs.
Yes, and he can tell, and he knows, and I feel like it's due to the fact that he has managed to get away with it constantly. And we will go into reasons why throughout this entire podcast.
We have told him that we're doing this. It's not like I'm pretty sure he's aware.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's aware.
Sent him a message,
I sent him a message. We could show it on the screen if you want. He was on Do Not Disturb on Skype. And one thing Ed has done, which is a recurring pattern, when I came to him with a problem, if he couldn't answer it, he would just go offline until he felt like the issue was done. And he would come back and he would always tell me he's fine. He would never tell me he was good. He never really would stray away from that. It was always he's fine.
And that's a very common thing with everyone. Like, everyone we talk to, that's just his thing, is he's fine. He's never good. He's never bad. He doesn't have anything to say. He's just fine. But like, and the reason, like, because we told him, but honestly, I guess you could say we don't necessarily know if he knows, but at the same time, we've messaged him so many times, and we know he's seen it. We know he's seen the messages.
And he told me he was a sociopath. Like, this is what he told me. We were in a call, and he said he was a sociopath and a pathological liar, which is why we have issues, because obviously when somebody tells you that, we all went and we tried to figure out, and we tried to find ways to excuse his disorder, or his fucking diagnosis or whatever is going on there.
And we want to make a note that we don't have any, like, you know, physical proof or evidence that he actually has this.
He's just telling us this stuff.
He's just telling us, and he's told multiple other people as well. He didn't even tell Aaron and Jimmy. He told me, and somebody else. I don't know if they want to be named. So I won't do that.
I'm pretty convinced, because, I mean, you guys watching the podcast, you might get the idea that we're really close and we talk all the time and we're great friends and we know a lot about each other. It's absolutely the opposite. I know practically nothing about Ed.
And that's the thing. I thought I knew everything about Ed, but I don't know anything.
I mean, when the stuff happened that triggered Ed to telling me he was a sociopath, Jimmy messaged him on the day because I was in call with him. Didn't even realise that Ed had been cheating on multiple people for the longest time, which is one of the issues that we have, is that he's been cheating on multiple girls. I think it's 4 specifically. is obviously the one who you may have seen if you've been following Twitter posts. You would know. Did publicly tweet that Ed had cheated on her and she was done and she regretted it. And honestly, like, she just needs your support more than anybody, more than us, really. Because what happened with her is the worst. And that is the main reason I take this super seriously. If it wasn't for that situation, the fact that he also hurt another friend of mine severely, I would be a lot more wary with bring this to the public. But I know if he's not afraid to cheat on 4 different people at the same time, and with his disorder, he can't feel empathy. That explains wholeheartedly why he did it. He didn't
honestly,
care.
It's very tough for us to. I mean, it's tough for us to begin with because we've grown so close to this guy who we thought he was. But I mean,
he's been over to my house and like we've drank together. We've had fun together, and then it's.
And me and Ed plans to live with each other in 6 months' time.
No, and he didn't tell us about that.
Yeah, and he told me he wanted me and my wife to go like live in his area. Like he tried over and over to tell us like,
he's been lying.
Come live with me.
So basically, the theme you will see is that he tells everybody something different, which is a key trait in being a sociopath. Is that he plays off what we want, and that's why I think partly. I mean, some people have seen, like, I've been lashing out at people a lot over the last month, so on and so forth. And it's mainly because of the fact that Ed was like my perfect friend. And he would do, and we would agree on pretty much everything. And if somebody didn't, I'd be like, oh, why can't you be more like Ed? But obviously, as a sociopath, he just played off what I wanted. And this is why it was so hard, because you guys have to understand. He has done the full works. He's cried. It's debatable whether he can even cry because he feels no empathy. He's cried
if it's just
to me.
An act or not.
He's called me in panic mode and so on and so forth. And you got to understand, I'm doing mental gymnastics here because I am double guessing everything the man has ever done or said to me. And you shouldn't have to do that with a best friend.
We all are. And it's weird because, being in a business with, as small as the channel, 20,000 subscribers, it's not like huge, but at the same time, it's still a small business. And, me, Aaron, and Ed, we all shared it. And the scary part is we put our faith in Ed because we liked him and he seemed like a responsible guy and he was in charge of the finances and stuff. And it's just like,
and we'll make a note that he, as far as we know, he's never screwed us over.
Yeah, he's never fucked us over
on Hot Wet Soup. He's never screwed us over financially.
Yeah, and I spoke to him about it because I have told him in a call. I do want this to also be aware. I've messaged him saying that we're doing this, but I did tell him the last time I spoke to Ed, I sent him a call. He told me he was a sociopath. The next day later, we had a 6-hour call where nothing was different. We were just best mates. I then realized that was wrong. And that we couldn't do that. I called him up the next day. He was about to watch a film, and I said, Ed, we've got to talk about this. How is this going to affect Aaron and Jimmy? How's it going to affect the Hot Wet Soup lads? I said to him. And he was like, I just didn't think it would be a problem, me being a sociopath, was his response. And then I said to him, you got to understand that, like, we're not going to want to do the podcast with you after this. You have to be aware. And he's like, well, do they know? And I was like, I'm sure they know at this point. I didn't really want to say that I told them because he was still my best friend.
Yeah.
But I had to say to him that he had to be prepared for the fact that he was about to lose the cast. It's been a hard week. And we wouldn't do this if we didn't feel like it was generally completely fucked. And that there's no way that really anybody could come out here as a winner. At all.
No.
No one wins. None of us win here. It's only a loss. And it's going to fuck me up royally for a while, to say the least.
We fully expect backlash from this. It's like...
It's definitely... I wouldn't see it in any other way. Like, it's not... It's just... We have to let people know. Like, it can't just go without people knowing. Like, and the thing is we considered not doing this, but then we realized this will get out, and then someone who... like say doesn't like Ed will make this, and then they will go hard on him and then make him look even worse.
It's crucial that other creators know about this, just so he doesn't take advantage of them.
The thing is, for being a sociopath, is one of the key staples is that he only can feel for himself. He told me this. He can only feel what comes from him. He can't feel what me or Aaron or Jimmy feel if we came to him and went, "We got a problem, mate." He wouldn't be able to he wouldn't be able to feel empathy for us unless he knew the reaction we wanted him to give us. Which is, you gotta understand, that's devastating. I told him everything that I had an issue with everybody. If I had a problem, I would go to Ed. I'd be like, what do you reckon I should do? And I realised he just fed me what I wanted to hear, because that's part of what he's been diagnosed with. At least that's what he's told us he's got, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we can't say 100% for sure, because this is just what he's told us.
But the thing, we can't even guarantee what he said is true, because due to the condition he has, we don't know anymore. We just don't know.
We think he has.
To tell you the truth, I would prefer him being a sociopath, because if he's that much of an asshole, then it would piss me off even more. But I feel like we haven't specifically said situations, like things he's done.
Oh yeah, we should go over that a little bit. Yeah.
I suppose we'll go over the situation first with the girls, which is obviously probably the most damning situation, and only because it's the most important. And I don't feel like he did this out being a cunt, but he does know the difference between right and wrong, because he has learned it from the people he's around. He has learned from us what right and wrong is.
I don't think being a sociopath degrades your ability to know what's right.
He does know what's right and wrong, because I've sat in calls with him, and I've told him, and he knows, and he has been aware, and he's made moral decisions before, like they're just his morals, not other people's.
I mean, just look at his videos. Like, obviously, he knows what's right or wrong.
Well, he knows that Onision is a Tanamojo is somebody who should be attacked, and like he came up with those mainly by himself. Like he saw, and he can still see stuff like that. He just can't feel empathy.
Personally,
for
he can't. Yeah, he can't feel for other people. He can't care,
and he holds himself at the highest regard. So you got to keep that in mind. He holds himself at the highest regard. Everything he does is for him. And also, he does not care about what he has to do to do it. Okay, that's the two important things that really should be kept in mind. So number one, he was going out with other YouTuber. You've probably seen her. As I said, support is appreciated. He sent it away. Now he got with, and they were in a relationship. And since the beginning, pretty much from the timelines we've crossed over with all the girls. Some we can't name. She was being cheated on with 4 other girls who were 16 and 17 years old.
But before, like, it's not in his state. It's not illegal. Yeah, it's not illegal.
He's not a fucking pedophile. Like, don't go around calling him a pedophile. You call him a pedophile. Honestly, like, fuck you. It doesn't help.
But the age is actually, like, it's important, not because it's like illegal or whatever. It's just because younger people are easier to manipulate.
I don't know. Manipulate. Also, all these people knew him from his YouTube channel, which is also important because as YouTubers, he is coming from a position of severe power, and these girls looked up to him. They were younger girls, they're more impressionable, and they looked up to him. It was easy prey for the man. And I don't want to look at him as somebody who would prey on people. It sounds really awful because you guys have to understand. Weird. Like the Ed we know is not this man. We do but this man exists somewhere, but we've never met him. But he is there in that guy, and with this recent information, it just makes that all so much worse. So. He cheated on Sabrina with 4 girls consistently throughout the entire relationship. That's quite important. Kind of shows the type of morals he has, and he knew what he was doing was wrong because he has apologized. But he's not apologizing because of the fact that he now cares for what he's done that's wrong. He's apologizing because he knows that's what people want to hear because he's a sociopath. So,
and by the way, he kept us in the dark 100%.
Oh yeah,
I mean, as far as Aaron,
I want you guys to know, I have known that he had done this for about 2 months solid now. Ever since I started speaking to, Jimmy found out literally this week.
A couple days ago.
Same here.
So
since we're talking about that, I guess we could switch to what he did to me. I mean, it's not as big, but it kind of is a testament to what he's like. So a lot of you know he came over to my house, and God, it just feels so like just crazy.
So fucking weird to think about it.
But he came over to my house, and like we had a lot of fun, and basically the whole time he's just like talking about how much he loves all of us, and other people can vouch that he always talked so highly of me and my family and how much he loved all of us. And like he even told us that he wanted to be called the uncle of my child, like when he's older. He's like, "Do you care if Ezra calls me uncle when he's older and stuff?" And like we drank together. We watched movies together. We had fun. And the day he left, haven't spoken a word except podcast to him.
And the person who he replaced Aaron with as his highest friend,
Alex,
was me. And due to the tendencies of a sociopath, going off the fact that lines up with him, it would make sense because I'm the fastest growing channel he knows, who he hasn't already gained from in.
Well, it's not just you. We know that he's been reaching out to I Had Everything.
Here
iDubbbz as well. iDubbbz and I Had Everything.
iDubbbz.
Like he's basically like he moved away from Aaron, and I was open book. Like I literally have always told him, I didn't just get him subscribers and views because I literally featured him in a video 4 days ago, and then I found out he's a sociopath. So you guys have to understand, like this is really fucking devastating. I was like, I just wouldn't have put him in there. I also got him a place at the Omnia House, which is where I'm moving into now. As a YouTuber, that's a crucial place. All the YouTubers going to be there.
He didn't tell us that at all.
He didn't tell those guys that. I got him a place at Omnia House. I was going to meet him in literally 2 months at Insomnia, and also we were going to see him at VidCon. So, like, we had long-term plans with Ed. He just doesn't have them with us, from what we could tell.
And also, I want to make the point that him going to Omnia House. So basically, what Ed was trying to convince me and my wife and son to do is move with him, like move in his area, and like when we got the money, we're gonna move there, and when we're gonna get like an office and stuff, and like make videos all the time and stuff, and then I find out that he's actually. I mean, it's not like we had like complete plans. But he just kept telling me over and over, trying to convince me. And then he didn't even tell us.
We had arranged it. We got into the whole 6 months time. You could pay rent type of place. Like it was pretty set in stone that he would be one of the people who would be living there. And the reason why is because I convinced him that it would further his channel. And I said, Ed, do you want to get out of it? Because the thing is, like, Ed told me. That he was depressed, and that's why I was bringing him to England to Insomnia. I said I'd pay for his plane ticket. This is why I was placed to his Patreon, all this type of stuff. And then I was like, Ed, if it really is as bad as you feel it is, and I am your best friend, and I just didn't even think about Aaron or Jimmy. I was like, okay, well, come live with me. I'll look after you, man. Like you know me, Ed. You know that I will get you to 500,000 subs or get you to 1 million. I'll do what I can. Like, I want the best for you and we'll smash it. And I gave him an opportunity that just seemed more set in stone than the one he was being given by Hot Wet Soup. And I didn't really cross my mind that he was getting gain out of it because he just felt like my best friend. So it just didn't even cross my mind that could have been an issue.
And also want to make a point that during the time he was talking to Alex consistently, like I messaged him plenty of times, and every single time he didn't message back, I see a tweet of like, say, a picture of him talking to Alex. Now it just sounds like me being a jealous girlfriend, but no, it's just me realizing it now.
And because also, and these calls were big as well. Like if I always would love to talk to Aaron, and I said, if you get Aaron and Jimmy in here, then Adam, please. Like, it'd be neat. But it never happened. Like, Aaron never in the picture. I don't even really remember talking about Aaron unless I brought up one of his videos.
And it's funny because it got to the point where, like, this just shows how weird it got. He was messaging my wife, which, I mean, it's not like he was flirting with her or anything. Like we're all good friends. Like, he messages my wife every once in a while, and they're just good friends, and that's completely fine. But he was messaging my wife just about random stuff, and I message him, or I DM him on Twitter. I DM him again. Doesn't get a response while he's still texting my wife, so I text him. And still don't get a response while he's still texting my wife. And it's not like that guys don't think it's like, oh, he's trying to get with your wife. No, it's not like that. It's just weird.
He's just ignoring Aaron.
He's just ignoring. And it's so I just didn't get what the hell.
Because he doesn't understand how friendships work. Because when I brought up Hot Wet Soup to him after the fact that he brought up that he was a sociopath, he was like, well, like, I just thought it'd be okay. He just doesn't understand, like, why it would be wrong, and also he doesn't understand how it would look, I suppose, as well. Like, he just doesn't... He plays off that he doesn't get it. But this is also an issue. Like, we don't know whether he does understand because he's picked up on it, and he just does it anyway because of the type of person he is.
I know that we're going to get comments saying, why don't you just replace Ed and just keep uploading? But we can't. Hot with Soup is me, Aaron, and Ed. That's what we are. It's like the bear, the pig, the alien. Like, that's the symbol of Hot with Soup. We can't just replace it. Like, we'd just be like what Baited is now. It's nothing. And we'd be disrespecting him. I know that he doesn't care for us as much as we thought. I mean, if at all. But it's just like we still like him. I mean, it's like. It's weird because it's weird to think about it. Like, he can't like us the same way we like him.
Yeah, he wouldn't be doing this for us. He wouldn't be doing this for us, basically.
Yeah.
His definition of friend is like not what a regular person's definition of friend is.
Yeah, his definition of friend is like what he can, like what he gets from you is like also one of the ways he values you. So like with the girls, what he could get from them, with us, what he could gain off knowing us, like, because he calls people friends, and this is one of the things he did tell me as well. He said, I generally believe you're my friend, Alex, even though I'm a sociopath. I do still understand that, is what he tried telling me. You gotta understand how hard it is to sit there and hear that when you know that the guy is not thinking the same as you.
Oh, this is interesting to bring up. I think it's safe to do it because of what's happening right now, but when... the first time we stopped Hot Wet Soup, it was because Ed was talking to people in a Skype chat that I wasn't in with like 40 other people that were in the community, and he was talking bad about me, about the Leafy video I was making.
He was talking shit about the Leafy video that Jimmy made, and I said to Jimmy, if you want to save Hot Wet Soup, you got to pull that fucking video, mate. Because I encouraged Jimmy to post the video. I encouraged him to keep it up. As soon as Ed went in a big fuck off public group chat, and he was really angry, he told Jimmy to pull it. Now, I believe he told Jimmy to pull it, and also one of the reasons why Jimmy stopped doing trending topics is because of the fact that it damaged his image. And he didn't want his image being damaged.
Not my image, Ed's image.
It damaged Ed's because he's associated.
Yeah, I put a little segment at the end of my video of little
YouTube
cute little memes. Yeah, little memes that he made, the YouTube 101s about Leafy, because I thought they were neat, and I thought, we're good friends. He wouldn't mind, and I know I should have asked him prior. I mean, that was my fault, but at the same time, he saw that as like an attack on his image because
he didn't want throughout the whole Leafy situation. He was one of like two people I could mention who never went against him. Never publicly, never, like, he's publicly gone against his content, but never went, I'm done with Leafy. Because, as you may be able to tell, Leafy has a lot of subscribers. And at the time, that's useful to anyone. If you're friends with a man with subs, it's very useful.
Yeah, a big reason why I took the video down was because of Ed, and I cared about him, and I cared about the podcast more than I cared about a single video. And, I mean, that was, like... the main reason I took it down. It wasn't because I was afraid of backlash. I get backlash on many videos I've made in the past.
And obviously we couldn't say that was the reason. Like, we kept it dead quiet. Yeah, that was the reason.
Yeah,
because like, Ed didn't even know that I had told Jimmy, because I did it for the sake of both of them.
And that would require us telling people that he was talking shit about me, which we didn't want to damage him, like... that it was against our interests, and it was like we cared about him. We
were friends. We thought we were friends. like we thought we were all genuine friends. So I was like, I don't want to see these friends be broken up So I intervened. And it's one of the only times I ever have intervened like that, and I don't regret it.
But now it makes so much sense because he was just trying to connect with the people in the Skype group saying like, oh, I agree with you guys, trying to get on better terms with them.
I was one of the only people who said I liked the video in the Skype group chat. And that's why he wouldn't have sided with my opinion, because I wasn't the majority. Because I went back through it, and like I always go back and I say that I liked the video, but like nobody else really agreed. And followed suit and used the fact that it could damage his reputation to solidify that point.
Yeah. I think he just likes feeling, he has like this grandiose sense of self, like where he just feels like other people are, I'm just saying this because
he automatically holds himself above people. That's part of the condition.
Yeah. That's like a part of the definition, I guess, but it's hard to say because obviously we don't know for sure. Like we can't put ourselves in his shoes. For sure. Yeah, we're just going off of based on what he said to someone else, and we should probably tell people why we know this. Like, did you explain this situation right? But then,
so he obviously had cheated on us, and obviously, if you guys don't know, she's not in the best place, and it all got too much for her because Ed had been fucking her around basically throughout the entire relationship. Obviously there's 3 other girls he's cheating on her with, but he was still keeping a leash on her. Like, we'd been sat in group calls even as this was going on before Ed had told her that it was more than one girl, and Ed would sit in those calls and show no emotion. I've gone back with everybody and gone, didn't you think it was weird that he just sat there as if like nothing mattered? That there wasn't a girl sat there who, at the time, we didn't even know he had cheated on 4 times at the same time for the entire relationship, and he showed no remorse, which is why I'm pretty set on the fact that he is a sociopath, because I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have gone near my ex-girlfriend. Especially one of the 4. Now, what happened was, messages me, we're all playing golf with your friends. Me, Ed, and a few other YouTubers playing golf with your friends, and Ed seemed really happy, and that's what I've been fighting for, because I just thought he was depressed. So I was like, Ed's happy, that's good. And he can feel happiness, like he can create emotions like that, he just can't feel happiness off other people. Other people don't affect him, they're almost pointless. It's just him. That's really all that matters. That's very important. So he was happy playing golf with your friends, a big fuck off smile on his face, and DMZ, I'm outing Ed, I'm posting it on Twitter. Now, I tried to stop her because of the fact that it would not just damage my best friend, even though I knew he was wrong, and I knew that he was killing this girl. It would also damage the Aaron and Jimmy, who are also friends of mine. I was like, I can't let this happen, like, we need to sort this out in private, which is what we've tried to do for 3 months. 3 months we've tried to sort this out in private. Like, it's got to that point now. So what happens is, she tweets it. I go, Ed, I'm gonna have to put you out of your golf with your friends game. We're gonna go on a private call. He instantly could tell off the tone of my voice. It's not good for him. We go on a private call. He reads the tweet. She goes, oh, okay, that's not good. That was his reaction. Oh, okay, that's not good. The reaction I would have had, especially as a YouTuber with his fucking entire reputation on the line, would probably be to have a fucking full-on mental breakdown. No, Ed, it was just, okay, that's not good. And I was like, okay, so what do we do? I was panicking more than him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so what do we do? And he goes, well, I'm guessing I'll sort it. And he's like, and then he's like, one hand texting Sabrina. He's like, well, she's not going to kill herself, so that's okay. And I'm looking at him like, how can you have this reaction? Like, how can you? And he's like, I normally could get her I normally talk her down from it. Like, she always listens to me. Like, he knows he has power over her, even after everything he's done. And he still stays in contact with her, even though I told him for 2 months solid, stop speaking to Sabrina. He's still there. He's like, well, okay, well, she's not going to do it. I was like, okay, that's fucking brilliant. And then he goes, all right, I feel like I should tell you, I went to my therapist's, and 2 weeks ago, she diagnosed me as a sociopath. And I'm sat there, and when you hear that, I knew exactly what he was saying. And first of all, my first reaction was, that explains everything. And me being the idiot I am, I tweeted out on my Twitter account, There are two sides to every story. Because I felt like that excused him from what he had done. Yeah. Because I was his best friend. And when he told me that he couldn't feel emotion, and he couldn't feel empathy for people, and he told me before he struggles to feel for people. So it wasn't a surprise. I just felt that was because he was depressed. Yeah. And he's told Aaron this too. That he struggles to feel for people.
Yeah. It was a while ago. I finally got him because he really had an issue with opening up. But a while ago, I got him to open up, and he didn't say that like he was depressed or anything. He just said that he couldn't feel and he was numb. And me, because I've been in a situation where I was so depressed that I just didn't feel, and I was just like wanted to stay away from everything, and I just thought it was just like that. I thought it was something just kind of small like that.
It was something that I could relate to. That's what I thought. Yeah. Like, I'd been there. I told him, I said, I know exactly how you feel. I was rendered useless for 6 months. I let my Twitch channel die. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to be able to have a career, so I'm going to keep you pushing through this. So then he tells me he's a sociopath, and we sat in a call for 4 hours, and I said nothing. And neither did he. And we didn't hang up. We just sat there, just like looking at stuff. And I was going, "You got any updates?" He's like, "No, not really," because it was just clocking off my head. And then the next day we talk, and everything was fine. The next day we talk, and that's the conversation where he cried to me, and I told him that basically there was no way that he would be able to continue as a YouTuber with that much power and influence over people if I already know that he's damaged 4 people previously, and now he knows. And the thing is, one of the things he said to me that stands out like a sore thumb was, well, I'm kind of glad I got diagnosed as a sociopath because of the fact that it explains a lot. And I was like, okay, but it explains a lot, so now you know that you just don't feel for people, but like, does that mean that you just feel like it's okay and you're at peace? And that is when he started crying, when I was like, you just can't feel for people. Like, I mean, do you even feel remorse for what you've done? You know everything's over, right? Because I made it very clear. I was like, you know everything's over. Like, there's no way that you could continue.
Yeah. It sucks because there's such a divide between our understanding and what it's actually like, you know? And it sucks because, like, we think we know what it's like to be a sociopath, but we really don't. Like, there's no way we can.
No one will ever know, really.
But
all we can base it off of is the things that we do know, and the stuff that we do know is scary, and we have stuff to back it up. Yeah, like,
and the reason that we are bringing this to the table and bringing it to public is because we don't want this to happen to someone else.
And he's already abused people with the power he had.
And like we even have like we've even heard that he's bounced from like community to community, like made a name in the community, and then just left.
He told me he only imagined to be. He said, the thing is, I kind of expected this. I only expected to be in the commentator community for about 3 years. Now, one thing he did tell me, he's still going to be making videos. Even after this, he's still going to be making videos. So if you do want to support Ed, be my guest, just please do not trust the man, really. You can still enjoy his content, but I tried to go back and watch his videos, and he was my best friend, and they make me feel sick.
Me
they
too,
make me feel physically
because
ill.
it just makes me think about that, and it's just
it makes you remember the guy you thought he was, you know. It makes you sad. Like, it sucks because then you think about it and you're like, well, if it were reversed, he wouldn't feel the same way, and
he wouldn't care. And I mean, there are some DMs that Anthony had with him, because Anthony was the person. So what happened was, Ed told me and he was a sociopath. His mistake was telling because she isn't in a stable condition. That was his downfall. And this is one of the things, like, as a sociopath, I honestly do not have a fucking clue why he did that, because I told him I would have kept it a secret. I told him he'd still come to Insomnia. I told him he'd still come to the Omnia house. I told other people who knew. As I told them, I was like, but I'm still working hard for him. He's a sociopath, you must beware. I reckon it's different for me and him. Yeah. It isn't. He hasn't spoken to me. As soon as he stopped talking to Anthony, which was the last person he spoke to, in these DMs, he hasn't spoken to anybody else. Like,
and he hasn't even said a fucking word to us, which is like the big, like, that's the thing is, if, that's just what pisses me off the most. That's just what blows my mind, is if he just came to all of us, if he just was, I don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't be this way. It wouldn't be
if he showed any sign of caring at all. He didn't reach out to me or you.
Like, he doesn't even care. I know he doesn't care. Like I wouldn't even care if he doesn't care. I just want that. I know. I want a closure.
I want him to at least turn around. Yeah, I want him to turn around and message me, because I said to him, the last thing I said to Ed ever, voice to voice, was, I'm not going to toss you out. I won't let them kick you out. I won't let them community outcast you. I said, I can't allow this. Like, I refuse. I want to bring you to Insomnia. I want you to bring it to Omnia House. I want you to be at the VidCon house, which we'll get onto in a minute. And he said, that is surprising, Alex. He said, that is surprising. He was amazed at the fact that I would still, after everything, and even telling him that I struggle to tell when he's telling the truth now, that I would still give him that opportunity. He was amazed, honestly, because I'm pretty sure that he thought I was telling him it was over, because one of the first things he did mention was the VidCon house. But Anthony was one of the only people who looked at what he had done and not who he was as a friend. And Anthony, you got to understand, Anthony based his entire YouTube channel off Ed.
We're talking about Deodor Anthony, by the way.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't know who that is.
Anthony based his entire YouTube channel off Ed. Anthony's a huge fanboy. Anthony's been paying Ed $100 a month since he started his Patreon. Anthony dropped Ed $400 to pay for his gym membership, which he also lied about, because he paid $50 and then he still went and asked. Well, he didn't ask us for money, but he hinted at the fact he needed it, and Anthony paid it in full, even though he didn't have to. So Ed's been getting extra money than he needed off us as well, because we were always super helpful, because he was one of our best friends, and I think he knew that he had that ability too. Like, we are treading a fine line, and we're aware of it. We just want to do what's fucking best at this point, and that just feels like nothing we feel like feels like we're doing what's best. No, this is just a really shit situation.
If we leave it, then we feel like shit. If we do it, we feel like shit. We're just gonna feel like shit. It's a
lose-lose, but I mean, but at the end of the day, we have to, is more at risk than Ed is.
Anyone, yeah, and Ed doesn't care about her, so she cares about him. He doesn't care about her, so she's more important to me than he is, and he ever can be, because he will never see me or us or any of us in the same light. I know, I can't prove it's a pathological liar, but I know it's a pathological liar from my experience with Ed, because when he told me he was a sociopath, when Ed told me he was a sociopath, he said, just so you know, you are the first person I've told you can't tell anyone. Obviously he didn't want anybody to know he was a sociopath. Clever of him, I wouldn't too, especially if I had a self-heightened area of sense, but he wanted me to feel important, so he tells me that I'm the first person, because he wants me to go, Ed's my best friend, which, if you have heard through this whole thing, I do feel like I'm important to him, even though I know that's not the case, and I still feel important to him. That's why my emotions are fucked over the last month, because it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. I've been battling myself as well as he's battling himself, but he just doesn't care. So he says, I told you first. He then goes, no, I didn't. I'm a pathological liar also. I told you first. And the reason why he did that, because he's a sociopath, he did think it through, is so he believes we've still got trust. He acted like he caught himself in a lie. He acted like he caught himself in a lie to make me feel like he could still be honest with me. And how can I trust a man who does that?
And that's just the whole thing, is regardless of what, if we can't really tell what is completely true, because we don't know what's going on in his head, but at the same time, everything's adding up. But at the end of the day, we don't know what's the truth, and that's why we can't continue the podcast.
We can only get... the podcast had to end, and there was no way that this was going to happen for Aaron and Jimmy. We have tried. We've got loads of YouTubers who knew Ed very well, and we were like, well, what do we do? Because we wanted to help Ed, and the thing is, if Ed doesn't care, all I can do is help the two people who left, who I definitely know are my friends. And I mean, me and other people will do what we can to help the best we can, which is why I'm here. So,
and
if you're if you're watching this, just know that we have gone over the options,
all of them, every single day for about 18 hours.
Yeah,
we've been in calls constantly every single day.
talking about this. Out. You know, we have thousands and thousands of viewers who like listening to Hot Wet Soup, and we can't just keep them in the dark and just completely
We can't just
stop.
leave it. And we can't just start up new things in the attempt to fill the hole and just move on as creators and as friends. Like the VidCon house, you know, we all plan to stay in the VidCon house. Me, Leon Lush, Bunty King, Barnick Pig, Elvis the Alien, Zaptai, Wild Spartans, and Yoda Anthony. We all plan to stay there. As soon as Anthony realised he didn't want it there, and as soon as these guys realised we couldn't do the podcast anymore, and the other guys, like, we were more willing to compromise, but that was mainly because of the fact we still felt like he was a friend. But now, after putting all the stuff together, it's hard, like, we're running out, because, like, me and the trending topic guys want to help Aaron the situation out as much as possible, and everybody else.
And
it would just be weird. It would be weird if you watched that, what was happening, and you just went, "Where is Ed?" And we are aware at this point there are people with so many eyes on us. Like, to everybody who I told I was going to see him at Insomnia, people were bringing it up. Like, we still want to go, but I mean, it's just like we would have turned up and be like, "Where's Ed?"
Dude, I'm getting
He's
like
still making videos, but
at least 5 tweets a day asking when the new Hot Wet
no,
Soup is,
like my last stream, like every other message was when's the new Hot Wet Soup, and it
when's the new Hot Wet Soup,
me.
just over and over and over and over, and it's like, and I'm just like, I would do anything just to like not know, you know, if I just didn't know, and we can just continue and whatever, like, but the thing is, like, this is a business, and if it grows and it grows and it grows, we can have a serious problem in the future, you know. So it's like,
and we couldn't just go back and just do a podcast with him, because the whole time,
we would just be thinking about it, and we wouldn't have the same relationship we had before. It wouldn't be as fun to listen to, you know. And we can't really replace him either, because if we do that, it's like, it looks like we don't care about him, and we do, you know. And it's like, and it wouldn't be the same either, you know. I feel like in many ways Ed carried the podcast, and without him it just wouldn't be the same.
This is the thing I want to explain. Like, when I was moving over to commentary, I stumbled across the Hot Wet Soup channel as one of the first people, bar Pyro and Leafy, who were commentary channels or associate with the commentary community, and I was like, I want to be like those guys, like the small creators who were clearly doing something great and moving forward. And I used to watch Hot Wet Soup, and you gotta understand this is hard for me. Ed mentioned me on Hot Wet Soup first, and that was one of the best days of my life. I was in college, I had like 5k subs, and Ed told me he would get me on as a guest on a podcast that I had watched, and like I was all genuine fans of everyone. Like, I've been genuinely invested in these guys as people since the beginning. So I really, really don't want to fucking be here doing this.
Nobody.
Especially as the first time I got involved in Hot Wet Soup, I had to fucking save like the podcast. Worst. Like, I'm saving it, and now I'm kind of here sending it away as a fan and not just a friend. Like, it's been devastating, because I knew it was going to happen for months. Like, I've known. So ever since I had to do it in the first place, I was like, it's just going to happen.
And honestly, you really think we'd be doing this if we didn't have to? Like, this is not just a podcast. It's more like, you know, it's more income for us.
Aaron is going to fucking struggle without Hot Wet Soup.
Yeah.
It's going to be an issue. You know, like, we're going to try to find our ways around it. But, like, you know, this is not just a podcast, but it's a livelihood, and it was a friendship. And it's all gone now, really, at this point.
Once again, I want to stress, don't hate.
Don't fuck Ed off as well.
Don't go and be a dick to Ed. Sure, he's done some shitty things, but it's just more about you can't trust the guy. But at the same time, you guys can still like his videos. You guys can still, you know, watch his stuff.
Your own opinion plays. You know, like,
he's a great content creator, and that's you. However, whichever way you slice it, he's really good at making videos, and like, that will never change.
It really doesn't matter what he's done to us. It you know, like, when it comes down to that, like, it doesn't matter what he's done to us. We can't continue. That's just a simple fact.
That's the final thing. Is this whole thing is just about how Hot Wet Soup is going to be done.
And you know, I do want to say, you can ask me questions on Twitter. I'm going to be super fucking subjective. You got to understand, like, I've been going into college because of this. I have been struggling to make videos. It's killed my motivation for really anything.
Everyone asking me about how I just randomly stopped for a week after I said I was going to do 3-4 videos a week. It's because of this. It's the reason I didn't upload for a week is because I've been dealing with this the whole time.
Yeah, the morning that you called me and told me, I was just like, we just sat in a call and I was like in shock the whole fucking time. I was like, there's no way. Just like running through every memory that I've had with the guy, just trying to like spot little things, and it was just it's such a mind fuck, man.
There's every YouTuber who has met him who knows, and there'll be people who will be hear this who will be absolutely devastated. Like, it is hard because there's not a person who has gone back, and at this point, everybody who we've spoken to is on the same mindset. There wasn't a person objectifying to what we've done here. Those people can come forward if they want to, they certainly want, we just know, I felt like it would be wrong for me, who has played such a key part and a key role, to not be here and solidify that this is not Jimmy's or Aaron's fault in any way, shape or form.
And by the way, don't hate on Alex at all. I know that he's not technically a part of Hot with Soup, and that him as a guest right now, it just feels awkward. It feels like he's filling in Ed's shoes or something. He's here because he's one of the people that was closest to Ed.
And I want him to come out of this well still, which is the weird. It's like the most fucked thing. I don't want him to be destroyed. I really don't.
And that's the thing is he's experienced it firsthand consistently, while me and Jimmy have been in the dark the entire time.
I've been hiding it from everyone.
Yeah,
I've been hiding everything from everyone, and this is why obviously you could see the mental toll it's taken on me.
The emotional roller coaster it's fucking been. We went from angry to denial to sad to confused. It's been
so we could fix it to there's no possible way.
Yeah, we tried to fix it so fucking much.
We've messaged him. He still won't reply. He's still offline
I've sent him
on
Twitter
Skype,
DMs, and he just doesn't reply. Yeah.
He hasn't replied to my messages since Monday night. Was the last time, and he said, "I'll talk to you tomorrow." Mm-hmm. He said he'd talk to me tomorrow, Monday night, and he's just gone. And he hasn't tweeted in a day. He's been active on personal accounts, which we won't give away, so we know that he's around. And we also know that is a good friend at his house, keep looking out for him. He just won't respond to us.
And it just seems like he doesn't care all that much.
It seems like he's realised he knows the effects it's going to have, and he's just like, okay, fair enough, but this venture is done. He's just decided that it's over.
Yeah, of course it's going to hurt his pride and stuff, but deep down, he wouldn't care like a normal person would, and it's just so weird because we care so much, and it just sucks.
And that's the part that hurts the most is we've been I've been having trouble sleeping. We've been all just completely just confused and all hurt.
I sleep through. I do 14-hour days in bed.
Yeah, and exactly, and the whole time we're like this, he doesn't care.
He's fine.
He's cool. Fine. He's just fine.
It sucks. I love Hot Wet Soup. This is something I almost love it more than my own fucking channel. The whole, it's like an icon within the community. It's and
everyone
we get so much
Hot Wet Soup. Everybody draws it. Even through this situation, one of the most annoying things was jumping in calls and hearing Ed's name, being on Twitter, seeing people drawing pictures of everybody as a trio, and as a fan, as a friend, when you know what's about to happen. It's been torture, really.
Oh my god, no! The moment I found out someone drew art of just me and Ed, and I was just like, fuck.
I know, I saw that. I was like, god damn.
God damn it! It is. It's been painful.
We were discussing the future of the podcast too, mostly just Aaron and I. Obviously you know why now, but we were talking about possible merch. We were talking about making a website.
We were even in the works of getting sponsors.
Yeah. This was going to be a bigger thing, and it just sucks that it's come to this. And I feel like Blink-182 or something, but you know what I mean, losing the lead singer, but. It's fucking, it sucks for us, but
And to
at the end of the day, we will always care about him.
Yeah,
you know?
like I mean, like I still care about him. I don't know if the him is what he actually is.
We care for the person he showed us.
Yeah, but
and we all know at this point that person isn't the same person. We all know because of the fact that he's told us all different things about each other's videos. How he hates Jimmy's videos, and then he'll tell Aaron or Amy like how he fucking hates my videos but thinks I'm a great guy, and then he'll say
he told me to my face that he loves my style, but he'll contradict himself. So way back he told me that he loved the direction I was going in, how I was avoiding drama and not doing trending topics and like trying comedy. And then apparently he told Wild Spartans that he hated my videos, and then I made this Onision video more recently.
We were all in the call, we watched it and he loved it.
Yeah, and he told me...
It's just confusing.
And he loved it because I went mental when you uploaded it because it's what I've been pushing. I didn't realise the person I was fighting against to push you to upload more videos like that was Ed. So he just kind of caved in. He caved in because I was the person he was trying to please the most. I was like, you got to support Jimmy. I was like, support Jimmy and encourage him. And he did. He sent you... It's the only DM he sent you in ages.
Yeah, it really was. And he will only... Like, it just sucks. Like, he'll say something to me and then say something completely opposite to someone else, you know?
Yeah. But,
like, he doesn't... Yeah, he bends his opinion based on who he's speaking to.
But everyone, like, you know, telling... Like, I assume there's probably a few people who want us to continue regardless. And, I mean, me personally, like, when it's a podcast, like, it's the combination of the three people. It's not two people that make it. It's not one person that makes the podcast. It's everyone. I mean, look at Baited. Like, I mean, I know everyone's like, it's only because Colossal left. It's not because it's because the trio's gone. It's because when you lose that I guess what would you call it? Charm,
I guess.
Like the charm of three people bouncing things off of each other, and just that like combination of stuff is what you lose.
So when it comes to the podcast stuff, and obviously everybody being together, especially the VidCon house, like we kind of realized it was awful for Ed, and one of the main issues also, now that we know Ed doesn't care for us, like we're pretty convinced at this point, like Ed just doesn't care about any of our well-being, so he's not really too bothered with that Hot Wet Soup sending, even though he knows the implications that has for Aaron and his channel. Like, this could possibly send Aaron back to working at a job he fucking despises. And also, simply not going to happen because, one of the first things that me and Anthony decided upon was the fact that, obviously, we can't fucking let this fuck up more people's lives than it already has. Yeah. So, on that basis, we are going to have Aaron and Jimmy on. We felt like it's the best thing to do for the Hot Wet Soup podcast. Is like, we'll have them on a trending topic. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Since me and Jimmy are going to be trying out the trending topic, like we have a lot of time. We're going to figure out specific things to do. It's not just going to be... It might be 5 people at once, or we might do different things, or we have different people on at different times, or talk about different subjects for specific people. But we have a lot of... We're probably going to plan stuff out and everything, but I mean, it might work, it might not work, but we just wanted to give it a try.
It's really temporary for now. Yeah. Just to try and like bridge a gap for a while to the best of the ability we can. To, you know.
Yeah.
It's honestly just a really complicated situation.
Yeah, it's not like the fucking trending topic is stealing us or anything. Like, this was...
Yeah, we don't really know what to do. You know, like
we don't know where to go.
Yeah, I mean,
but
as much as we love Hot Wet Soup, it just like...
There's no way you two could continue going on. It's just the two of you, because people would always be going, "Where's Ed? Where's Ed? Where's Ed?" And
I mean,
he's the one. I'm so fucking fucked it. It's just honestly the fucking really, really fucking bad.
It sucks because Ed's like
he's the least person. Like, he's the person you would expect the least.
Yeah, he's a community favorite. Everybody likes him. He's super charming, very smart. Like, he's someone that it's like almost impossible to dislike. So, I mean, that in itself, when you see someone like that, I think that's kind of a red flag. But it is kind of fucked that like
he's been friends with like everyone. Like, I mean,
yeah,
really.
It's not a person he isn't friends with. It's not a person. This is the thing. Like, we were thinking, should we go tell all his friends? And we kind of realized that Ed was friends with everyone, which is one of the reasons that's part of the sociopath thing. Like, he likes to be.
And he wasn't really friends with anyone.
Yeah, he wasn't really friends with anyone, but he was friends with everyone.
Yeah, so it's a really fucked situation that I didn't expect to be in, and I don't think, Aaron didn't expect to be in this situation either, and it really crept up on us, and this is really like the last thing that we wanted,
Yeah.
And I'm just asking if you're watching this, like don't think of Ed as some like alien weirdo. Like he's still a human. He still makes good videos, and like he might think differently than us, but it doesn't mean that you should unsubscribe from him and hate him or something. He's like,
yeah.
People need to be aware, like just awareness.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
And mainly just understanding for why stuff can't continue as it has.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
if you have any respect for us, then maintain your respect for him, and this shouldn't change the way that you view him as a content creator at all.
No.
It's just us as co-workers, really. It's something that we couldn't continue doing, and yeah, it just sucks for all of us, really.
Yeah, and at this point, we're just reiterating everything.
Yeah, we're super drained.
Yeah,
we've been talking about this stuff for days.
We just like, it's honestly, I don't want to like say this like bye everyone, because that's just like the ending factor, and that's just the end of the podcast, and there's no more.
Well, Aaron and I are still good friends.
Oh yeah,
and I would even consider, like, I'm a friend of Ed. Ed might not see me as a friend, but I will always I will always see him.
Always been. I had him at the best of our intentions. It's just it's very hard to do that, knowing
it's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult knowing when, like, the entire time you knew him, it was basically a mask, I guess. It wasn't genuine, and that in itself is crushing, and so I guess that in itself is probably like the main reason why Pig and I feel that it's better if we
end it,
if we move on from this and stop the podcast.
And
it sucks, but
I mean, I've honestly said all I can. I don't know what else I can really say at this point.
No, I really kind of think that we have said our piece,
and we've repeated some things. I
would love to know Ed's. I want Ed to respond in some way.
I want him to talk to us. If he reaches out to us, we are all so happy to put a call with him.
Yeah. In an instant, for sure.
Like we don't want this to go. We don't want this to go sour. We don't want this to go hateful or negative in any way.
We just knew an explanation had to be given at this point.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, if he hadn't kept us in the dark and we had known, it might not have been as big of a deal. We could have just took care of the finances, and he. I don't know. It's just the fact that we didn't know. I'm just saying the same shit over and over, but it's just,
I know it's
fucked.
I'm doing the same thing. We just keep saying the same things over and over because it's just like, I don't know. I'm honestly just not wanting to end it, but it's not. I can't help it.
Because just in case there's anything else, but I feel like we've said what we can.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Well, thank you everyone for sticking around for the beginning and end.
Thanks for all the support you've given us throughout however long we've done this, like 7 months or something.
Oh yeah,
we've done this. It's been a good ride. Like, I've enjoyed every episode.
Oh yeah,
maybe not the Keemstar one, but that was kind of horrible.
And also, thanks to all the guests that came on.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you guys are the best, and I'm sorry to all the people that we were gonna have on but didn't, because we've had many people that we were gonna have on.
Yeah,
So,
and obviously we're sorry to the viewers who obviously, they were looking forward to this and they love the show and they like
love the dynamic and everything.
And that's sadly what hurts me a lot is because like so many people like message me all the time like or at me on Twitter just saying how much Hot West Soup helps them through their day and how much it just makes their life better, and knowing that and then having to make this is hard as hell.
Yeah, we'll try and think of something new to bring you guys because, we really do care about our viewers. I mean, I know that's kind of like something stupid, like, oh, you're just pandering or whatever, but like
no,
legitimately.
We really do.
I know, I could speak on behalf of both of you, but I know that's 100% true.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid, but we do care about what you guys think and stuff like that. So we'll try and think of something else.
It's one of the only reasons we're doing this, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like whether it's us being featured on or being a part of the trending topic or creating a new thing or whatever, we'll make sure to keep you guys in the loop.
Try work something out that's new, yeah. We'll do what we can.
But
so yeah, I guess that'll do it. Thank you for watching, I guess. And sorry again. This is not good news for anyone, really. So wait, one more time, Pig. You gotta do the thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let me see if I can nail it. Okay. It's Hot West Soup.